I gotta wait. How long I gotta wait for a press record?
Go.
Welcome to the share, where Miss Dreme always has a story.
I'm Dreme, a black woman with many beautiful interconnecting identities. A few I will name at this moment as we get started on this podcast journey together. A Bostonian, born and raised in the inner city, Dorchester and Roxbury neighborhoods, to a teenage single mother who has my whole heart. An educator, I've been working with youth and children since my teenage years, and formally, I have been teaching almost a decade now. That's wild to think about. An entrepreneur, I am the founder of The Chair, a black and brown centered tech platform dedicated to supporting people on their hair journey, where you can design hairboards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a more joyous experience. I have a workable site, my prototype. It took me 2 years to build, and now I'm on this adventure that you're currently on with me. My goal for this podcast is to share stories, black stories, educator stories, entrepreneurship stories, and hair stories. I want you to leave each episode with the opportunity to gain new insight, just a glimpse into my world or the worlds that are featured on my podcasts, a little chuckle during your day or night, possibly a little anger to encourage you to advocate for justice, and hope to continue learning and dreaming. So come in and listen to the beautiful voices in the chair as they share their stories, starting with me.
Where we share stories in the chair.
So on this episode, I am going to talk about how my rainbow hair became a conversation starter while living in South Africa. When I lived in South Africa, I was completing a Fulbright. The majority of my time was spent in Cape Town, where I worked at the College of Cape Town to help in their English and entrepreneurship departments, really focusing on job readiness skills. The goal of the college was that after students would graduate, they would either be prepared enough to apply to university, which is what we would consider like 4-year higher education, or they would have enough skills to be prepared to work on the job market. And so that's where I spent the majority of my time. However, there was also an opportunity for me and another Fulbrighter to be able to go to a different part of South Africa. We went to East London, and we went to work for 2 weeks at Hudson Park High School, where we taught English. I also taught history for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. We also were able to sit in on some science classes, art, sports. We were able to really, for 2 weeks, immerse ourselves into their world. It was an amazing time. However, getting there, they did not prepare us about what we should wear or how we should present ourselves. So when we got there, for me, I was absolutely sorely out of place. I had rainbow hair. Think about every color, every mixture you can possibly think of in braids with clear beads on the end. I was wearing a yellow sweater dress and Pokemon Crocs. That is how I was introduced to administration. That's how I was introduced to the students. Because at the college, there wasn't really dress requirement. Everybody wore all types of clothes, so it was more relaxed. However, at this high school, when I think about uniform in the States, you think about a little khaki pant or a navy pant with a little color shirt and maybe a pleated skirt if you went to a Catholic school like me, where it was also plaid. And the way you looked at the beginning of the day didn't necessarily look like that at the end of the day. However, here at Hudson Park, it wasn't only the shirt and the skirt, it was the stockings, it was the shoes, it was the jacket, a bow tie or a tie, it was a vest. Also, it was hot and everybody was wearing everything. They had rulers to check skirt length. They had rulers to check cuff length. If your jacket was starting to get small, so think about puberty. For the boys, they got dinged because they didn't order a new jacket. Same thing with the ladies and the skirts. If they were above a certain type of inch, they got dinged because they needed to order a new skirt. It was even the case some kids had jackets that were slightly 2 sizes too big because they knew they would grow into them, and that's how they ordered them. They couldn't wear their hair in a high bun, so everybody's hair was a low bun or it was down. Also, the kids could not have any color in their hair. It was against the rules, anything that wasn't of a natural color. So it was either black or dark brown. So here I go in my yellow sweater dress and Pokemon Crocs and rainbow hair with beads on it, swishing down the hallway, saying, "Hey, I'm the American who's going to take over your class for the next 2 weeks. It's so nice to meet you."
Where we share stories in the chair.
Look, it's my commercial. We will be right back.
It's more than just a bad hair day. It's a journey. Finding the right hairstyle isn't easy, nor is finding the right stylist or the right products. Looking in every corner of the web gets messy, overwhelming, and exhausting. All the ads, the articles, the products, the videos, it shouldn't be this hard, but it is. And now, it isn't. The Chair. A black and brown centered platform where you can design hairboards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a new joyful path on your hair journey. Avoid the clutter, save yourself hours, months, and even years of research and poor trial and error. Everything you need and only what you need is in one place. Hairboards made by people like you, for you. Find the right products, the right people, the right answers for you, stress-free. Join the Chair community and make every day a great hair day. When you share your pain, you allow others to help you. And when you share your success, you help others get theirs. Lean on the Chair. We got you. No stress, no strife. In the chair. The chair. The chair. All right.
Oh, and if you're interested to learn more about my experiences as a Black woman and educator in Guangzhou, China, I wrote my first ebook titled Nowhere and Everywhere, Captured Emotions of a Beautifully Broken Love Story. It is on lulu.com. Take a read and see some beautiful photography of mine. Enjoy the rest of the show.
The chair.
So that was my introduction for 2 weeks. And with that, I learned so much about how I present myself, open the door for kids to feel comfortable around me. So for 2 weeks, I broke all the rules, starting with what they looked like, what I could wear, because it was what I had. And I taught kids, I taught with new teachers, I taught with veteran teachers, and my hair and clothes were topic of conversation. Teachers would go, "Wow, Miss Dreme, you look very bright." And so I am the Black American with the rainbow braids, so my name was getting around because some kids who didn't have me just wanted to see what I looked like. And I thought it was the most fascinating thing to me when a student, a junior who I never taught, came up to me in the hall and said, "Miss Dreme, you give me confidence to be myself. It's okay to just be me." And for me, it was a reminder that my representation means a lot, even if it was only 2 weeks, even if I was just having conversations with students in the hall that I never had the opportunity to teach. It was a wave. I taught a class of ninth graders, and I was told that this class was difficult, which is my favorite word to describe kids, because when people say they're difficult, I always think difficult means they're just not being understood, which means that you just need to work harder to understand the kids in front of you. So I was given the difficult class, and it was a great time. They had all types of questions for me. They wanted to know the type of food I ate and why was I in South Africa, and they had questions about America. But the thing I think about a lot was the interaction I had with 3 kids at the end of class. It was a girl. She came up to me and she goes, "Miss Dream, can I talk to you for a second?" And 2 of our friends were standing behind her. And I said, "Yeah, what's up?" And she goes, "Miss Dream, are you?" And then she flicked her wrists. And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Miss Dream, are you, a part of the, the community? Are you like one of them?" And I go, "Does that mean anything to you?" And she goes, "No, I'm just wondering." And I said, "No, I'm not. And I'm an ally." But I said, "Will it make you feel better if you knew that you could talk to me?" And she goes, "No, my friends just noticed that your hair is a rainbow and that means something." And I go, "Yeah, I love color, but I also believe that people should love who they love and they should feel safe." And she goes, "Okay, me too. I think everybody should be safe." And I don't know where she's at in her journey and figuring out who she is, but I think about those moments there where just the way I look is presenting a conversation for her or for her group to make sure that they are seen in the classroom. And if my rainbow hair happens to do that, I will always be okay with that. Sometimes just being in the room means more to a student than I will ever know.
Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dream always has a story.
Thank you for listening to an episode of The Chair. I, of course, would love your continued support. Let me know what you think of this episode by doing all the things. Subscribe, comment, and come back next week, every week. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. Or if you are like me, enjoy that moonlight and that 1 star under all your city lights. Love you. Talk to you later.
The chair.
How long I gotta wait for a press record?
Go.
We support her. Shit.
Do your...
Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dream always has a story. Where we share